Hello and thanks for joining me again. Today I've got a little bit more fancy. I want to be kind of luxurious camping outdoors. This is a nice location with a lot of pine trees and it's going to be very relaxing with us. There's a nice big tree in the distance there that I can see. Looks like a historic type tree. Always feel nature like we do. Just keep an eye on how the leaves are growing, how the weather is changing, and that helps us understand the best way to approach where we set up camp. I'm going to be doing a light camp setup with luxury. Well, I'm calling it luxury compared to my last few episodes. So if you have been following along, thank you for joining me here again. And I'm slowly updating what I'm carrying. You'll notice there's been a change of equipment from my first few videos to this one, and that's because I'm testing out what works, what doesn't work, because it's not going to be ideal. We all have different setups and we want to find out what can work for us individually, and the more you do this, the better we can get at it. And of course I could not get on this tree. There was a nice low-hanging branch and it looked a lot higher up when I was on it than it does from this angle, but it's a nice old tree. I'm not sure what type of tree it is, so do let me know in the comments if you know the type of tree it is. It overlooks just below us and we can see a number of different parts of the area around us, so it gets a little bit windy and everything's a little bit intense. But I find from this viewpoint we can have a nice look around to see where we want to set up today. So I'm thinking between a tarp setup and a tent setup, and it looks like there's a bit of a lake there in the distance there, so it'll be interesting to go there and check that out for some fishing at a later point. So be sure to follow along if you're not already following, and that will give you an update as soon as I publish the next video in my series. So I'm just in my early stages here. You can see I've had a few camping sessions and I like to spend some time in the outdoors with nature to see what is it all about. And having a nice simple setup allows me to quickly set up something to shelter me from the rain or the sun. In this case you'll notice I'm using one of my early tarps, and this tarp was actually from a high street superstore. So if you're in the UK you'll know Lidl and Aldi, they're like a big brand of store, and if you're in abroad it's basically like a shopping store which also sells other equipment, so you find great deals there. And I've been testing this quite a lot and I've been surprised. It is lightweight, it's withstood a lot of rain, and you might see on my channel there's an episode where it got really windy. And I was using this top. So just keep an eye out for these amazing deals. You don't have to get the most expensive branded equipment to get outdoors. And if you're not planning to go outdoors, it's great to have you here with me, because we're outdoors together. You're sharing this journey with me. That's the main reason I like to film these. I feel like it's sharing it, so if you are unable to get out or you can't really get into the outdoors or you find it too intrusive, because a session outdoors, you plan for it a day in advance. You get all your equipment out. It's taken you a few days, whereas once I get all of this set up, you'll see I set up a second tarp tent, which is going to be a secondary option in case it gets really windy or rainy. And it's a lot easier for you to digest this episode because I've basically cut out all the extra bits that are the time waste bits, so you get like a nice 10 to 15 minute episode, and that lets you know exactly just the relaxing part of the camping, not all the intense poles and knots and what's the destination like and carrying stuff, so you don't see any of those. I have got separate episodes which are longer, so if you do want to see the full process behind how this works out, it might be interesting for you to see that. So we've got our easy little setup here. You'll see we've got a small folding camping chair, a small table which I like to carry around with me. We just had a little bit of a juice drink there to energize after setting up the camp, because that can be something to keep in mind. And I decided to go inside the tent top just to knock together a little bit of light lunch. And you'll notice I've got some apple fruit there, juice, some water, easy cooking stove, and this time you'll notice I brought a little kettle along with me. So in the past one I checked, if you've seen the episode before this one, I used the little mess tin and it wasn't too great. What I find with the kettle is I can actually boil the water in the kettle and also make soup in the kettle, so treating it like a pot. And you'll notice here it's like a nice option because you can get hot food, you can go outdoors, it's not very heavy, it's a nice lightweight option, and you've got some warm soup drink as well. The clouds look amazing. I feel like there's going to be a lot of drizzling and rain today. Thunderstorms coming along the horizon. So keep that in mind, and as the clouds block the sun, the light conditions change as well, so it gets dark very quickly and then all of a sudden it'll get bright again. So I do enjoy these. You'll see how the sun passes through the clouds and creates a vibrant colour. So with nature, we're in between a lot of pine trees here, and for my setup I've got a nice little light tent and it's very enjoyable. Just taking a few moments here to energize with my snack, and then deciding to go back and giving the pot a quick wash, because as you leave it, the longer you leave it, it'll just attract animals to the smell. So where possible, just cleaning up after yourself and keeping organized is quite a helpful process. Alternative to that would be just have a separate bag, put all the stuff that needs cleaning in a separate bag, and when you get back you can do it then. But I find doing all of this as part of the process is very therapeutic because it helps me to relax. I'm just doing all the camping situation, tasks, the duties during the camping session. And I'd like you to see how this affects your day as well. So it's a very basic, back to basic lifestyle. You set up a shelter. I don't take too many luxury options with me, but recently you'll notice I have been testing some extra options for the longer nights. So as I do the longer camp nights, I'll need extra things. So obviously the camping mat, maybe an air bed, a sleeping bag, a pillow. All these things will make your setup a little bit heavier. You'll have to carry more things with you, but it's all part of the process of learning and camping. So it's amazing having this option here for small items which can be easily folded away, multi-use, lightweight. And if you want to save a bit of space, you could always just not bring the little table and chair and sit on the floor, and you've got an extra bit of space there, because these all take up space in your luggage package and you have to carry it depending on how far you're hiking. I did a short little time lapse of the clouds because I found them so amazing as they were going past, and it's amazing to see how life on earth just is more relaxed out here when you're with nature. So you'll notice I took out my little camping setup there, and then I had this inflatable mattress which I walked in with, and I had a little air pump which is a battery powered pump. I do like a game of chess now and again, so I thought it's ideal here, lying and relaxing and playing a game of chess. What's your favorite game? Do you do much gaming apart from intense gaming? I might get a battery pack and bring out a computer with me one of these days, or a little hut. You'll see it's just as easy as it is to set up. You want to go through the motions to see how you do it, how you pack it up, how easy is it when you do your multi-day camping trip. Just makes it a little bit easier. So as you've been joining me here, you've been seeing my setup slowly getting bigger, more equipment. My process is getting a bit more sleek. The more you do something, the better you get at it basically. And you'll see it's all nice, lightweight, packed away, and we can leave without any trace. So I'm pleased you joined me on this episode. I would love for you to check out some of my other episodes. I find it amazing having this journey and you being able to be here with me. So thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.